Talking before meeting. Even distance. 3 months is crazy. 3 months, you go on one date, and then you're like, and then never heard from him again. Should I call him out? Call yourself out. Why are you entertaining this idea? Because at the end of the day, guess what? It's still 1 month. And this is the thing I've said 1,000 fucking times. Talking means nothing. You're texting a guy, you're talking to a guy, it means nothing. That is advice I've heard, and I agree with, and I say it to everybody else. Texting, talking means nothing. Nothing. 3 months, someone just will chat to you for 3 months. Chatting is the minimal piece of effort, and it means fucking nothing. You know what is more stock? Dates. You went on one date. You didn't hear from him again. He doesn't want another date. Should I call him out? Call him out on what? Why don't you want to date me? Wasting your time. You wasted your own time. This is the part I get annoyed with women in dating scenarios. I'm like, you wasted your own time. You made the decision to entertain this idea for 3 months with no results, with nothing happening. That's what you have to pay attention to. What is happening in front of me? If nothing's happening, that's what it means. Nothing. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Shooters Gotta Shoot. I am your host, Erica Spera, and I got a solo episode for you guys today. So, real quick, all the things up top. First of all, we are sponsored. SunsetLakeCBD.com. You know I love them. I know you love them because they keep sponsoring this pod. So, you got a promo code, and you can use it as many times as you want. SGS20 for 20% off. Use it as many times as you need. They always have new products. You want to up your products. And honestly, it's still the most affordable I've been able to find. So, they got great stuff. It comes right from the farm. Melatonin is my favorite product of theirs. They have gummies for it. They have the drops for it. But check them out. SunsetLakeCBD.com. Locally sourced. We love it. Sustainable. We love it. SGS20, 20% off. If you are listening to the show and you want to watch us, go to our YouTube page. All right? The link is in the description. But just search us. Shooters Gotta Shoot on YouTube. All right, even if you don't want to watch us, subscribe. It helps your girl out. All right, hit the little subscribe button. We're having a great time. And if you want extra episodes, you can go to the Patreon, which is patreon.com/shootersgottashoot. It's typically just me, solo. It's kind of like a little diary there that I talk about whatever, okay? We got real personal. We got ups, we got downs. We're being fully honest over there, completely unfiltered. Not that I'm that filtered on this show, but you know what I mean. You get the extra juice, and it helps support the show, so I really appreciate it. It's just $5 a month to get extra episodes every week. And they're full of updates, full of all the updates. So if you want more personal updates from me, that's where you go. Patreon.com/shootersgottashoot. All right. Without further ado, we got a solo up here. We're doing another honesty hour. I got my boy Fonzie back in the studio. Very excited to be back. Feels good.
Feels good to have you.
I feel at home. I feel at home. I've yet to find a studio in LA that feels like a home studio, but we're working on it. We're working it out. I love having Fonzie over here, especially for some of these questions. I'm going to throw to the Fonz and get some male opinion on some of these, all right? So, first one here, coming in hot. How do you feel about your man going to a strip club during a bachelor party? Listen, you can't care about this, right? It's a bachelor party. It's like the one time people go to strip clubs. Maybe not the one time, but if they never are going to strip clubs and then it's like a bachelor party happening, it's also something we don't think about. There is a high chance the strip club is gonna be sad, okay? Let them go to the strip club. Especially where is the bachelor party, okay? If it's not in a major city, that's a gamble on the strip club. What's going on? What's it gonna be, all right? I think a lot of guys will go to those and be like, thank God I have a girlfriend, or thank God I am married, right? I don't think this is bad. I think it's a kind of a classic situation of suddenly when you say no, it suddenly makes it somewhat more appealing. So the person really wants to go, right? I don't know. What do you think about this, Fonzie? What if your girl said to you, you still got a girlfriend, by the way, I haven't been here, right? Yeah. Okay. You're going on a bachelor party, and she's like, you can't go to the strip club when everybody else goes.
Right.
What do you think?
That's bullshit.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so it is bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And also, you'd get ripped on by all your friends.
It's like, what do you expect me to do? Fly all the way to Scottsdale, Arizona, and stay at the B&B while all my friends go to the strip club?
Yeah. Oh, I would hate that. I would feel bad. Yeah, you know what? Think of it this way. It makes you look like a bitch to all your guys' friends.
That's true.
because all the other girlfriends let them go. And now that's kind of the discussion. Because I've known people, nothing gets said to them. I think this was my brother, actually. Yeah, he went on to, like, my cousin's, I don't know, bachelor party. And there's the group of guys that are like, we got to go to a strip club, right? And, like, him and a few other guys just were like, it's not my thing, and didn't go. But there was no, like, discussion with his girlfriend, like, can I go? That, like, let them make their own decisions. There's a lot of guys that would naturally tap out of that. But it's kind of a group mentality. The whole group's going. You're the one girl telling their guy they can't go. Seems absurd. Now, how about this, Fonzie? Here's a happy medium with this question. No lap dances. Fair or not fair?
That's fair.
I think that's fair.
Because you can get a stack of ones and throw them on stage all night long and still have a good time.
Stuff them in a girl's G-string, or I don't even know if they wear G-strings.
They still even walk by and, like, you know, like they'll, like, you know, rub your shoulders or whatever and try to get you. It's still fun that way.
Okay, see,
you don't
I
got to
think
go upstairs for a private dance, though.
Yeah, not even, I mean, because even publicly, lap dance.
It's even worse.
I've been to a strip club. All right, your girl's pretty fun. I've been to a bachelor party at a strip club for my high school boyfriend, okay? Long story. Anyway.
Oh, my God. Wait,
anyway.
Really?
So this is how it came to be. I'll tell this. I don't know if I've ever told the story on the pod. Maybe I haven't. So my high school boyfriend, so my group of guy friends, were in town in New York City for a bachelor party for him. He's getting married. Congratulations, right? They try to go to like a strip club, whatever. Turns out it's like a titty bar situation. And it was really sad and awful. So even in a great city, okay, we all know men don't do a lot of research. Terrible, terrible time. Horrible titty bar, sad. So then I get a text that's like, you live here. Do you know of any good strip clubs? Because this one was sad. And I didn't. I was like, but I know some male comedians that do. Hit them up, give them a place. Turns out this place is near where I live. And I had no fucking idea that this place even existed. So I send them there, and then they text me. They're like, this place is crazy. It's like we're in a rap video. You got to come. And I had shows. I got home. They were still there. I was like, screw it. When else am I going to go? So I went to the strip club, and honestly, it was a very good time. I had a good time. It really isn't like this horrible thing that like people think about. Maybe it can be, obviously it can be, but like, I don't know. It's not that bad. But what I saw, I would be like, yeah, no lap dances. Right? Because I know a story of a guy and a girl broke up. He got a lap dance. She said, no lap dances, I don't care. There's strippers coming to the hotel room, whatever. And there was a private lap dance situation. She dumped him. Fairgrounds. Someone promises you, whatever, all that stuff. I think lap dance is the line you can pull. You go, just don't get like a private lap dance. Just say lap dance. You know, don't even make it private. Just say lap dance. Just say don't give any loopholes to be found. No lap dance. Go have fun. Yada yada. I think that's great. Now there was another question I got submitted. Apparently, I don't know if it's bachelor party season. I have no idea what's happening. I got another question from someone. Weird or not, to ask your fiance, so it's his bachelor party, ask him to not do a strip club as part of the bachelor party. What are the thoughts here, Fonzie? I'm going to throw to you first.
That's like provoking a trip to the strip club, I think.
A little bit.
A little bit, because like, I can speak personally. I'm going to one in June, and like no one's even thrown it out there yet. We're like, all right, day clubs and like golf trips. Like,
okay, see? Exactly.
No one's yet to be like, stripper club? Like,
yes.
Stripper club. Like, it clearly shows how little I go.
Okay, so this is almost like the scenario you say, don't think of a red car. You're thinking of a red car.
Exactly.
So if you say, don't go to a strip club, now we're thinking about a strip club.
We're thinking boobies.
And here's the other thing. Who plans their own bachelor party? Usually nobody. Okay? It's up to the person planning the bachelor party. And usually there's somewhat of a survey from the group, all that stuff. I say you leave it open-ended, and maybe you just make it, hey, the lap dance thing. Because, now you know what? Here's a debate. It's like, what do you think is worse? Private strippers come to wherever they are, or you go to a strip club? I think the private stripper situation is more icky to me, in a way. I don't know why. It feels like more uncomfortable.
It's definitely more like illegal, I think, too. You know what I mean?
Right? Like, I was kind of like, is it even legal? I don't even know. I really don't know how this works. Yeah. I've never tried to hire a stripper, so I don't know. But there's something like, it's like all of a sudden feminism comes in a little bit, or like me being so pro women that I'm like, well, if you get a stripper to the house, I mean, make sure you like offer her something to eat and you guys are very nice to her and you pay attention and you don't. It's almost a weird. I'd be like, don't make her feel like a stripper. You know what I mean? Be very hospitable to the stripper.
Like she has an LLC, so you're supporting that, not the big business.
Yeah, like there's a all of a sudden there's
not
a
Bada
weird
Bings down the street.
Yeah, the private stripper comes home. Now I'm worried about how she being treated overall by all your friends, and they better be nice, and they better not ignore her or treat her like a piece of meat. But like strip club, I'm like, they make the environment, and you're a part of the environment. So let me put it to you like that, all right? Maybe you'd say, don't be doing like a private stripper to the house. Maybe pull up legal. Be like, I don't think it's legal, by the way. Like, whatever. But, I mean, it's interesting. The women asking these questions, I'm like, it makes me feel like, do you not trust your man? Right? It's not, I don't.
That's like the issue that like makes it weird if you bring it up unprovoked, like.
Yeah, completely. It's not mentioned at all, like you said.
What, do you think I can't behave myself if I go to the strip club with my friends?
Yeah, what if we did?
Right.
You know? Like, I don't know. Because I'm trying to think. I was dating someone once, and he ended up, like, out with buddies, drinking. They ended up at a strip club. And I remember, like, we would talk on the phone, and I remember I was up late, and he came home, and he was like, oh, are you free? And I was like, yeah, and we just were chatting, and he was like, oh, my God. So we ended up going to a strip club. And was, like, telling me about it, but there wasn't this weird line that I felt like, oh, how could you?
Yeah, it's mostly like that, too. It's mostly like an impromptu thing.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you were telling me you had a friend.
Right.
Get in trouble for this?
Yeah, he, like, was drinking all day with his buddies, like an early day drink or whatever, and then after 12 hours, he just kind of wandered into a strip club with his friends.
Okay.
But the girlfriend has his location, and he was so drunk he, like, forgot to even mention or say anything to her. So the next day, he wakes up with, like, you know, the anxiety you get about knowing you did something wrong. So he didn't say anything because it was late at night, thinking maybe she didn't see the location. But then she ended up just giving him, like, a whole day to come clean about it. And he took the chance and didn't. And then, you know, left the girl really upset.
So now she's really mad. Yeah. That poses a new question. If your man goes to a strip club, do you want to know or not know? Like, I feel like there's almost a handful of people that would be like, I kind of would just rather not know.
Ignorance is bliss. But
the location tracking, that's tough. That's tough. Also, guys, if you're hearing a little bit of noise that there's some construction happening nearby, there's nothing we can do about it, okay? Which is why you should watch the YouTube. You'll notice it less. Okay. Let's see here. If you had to live in a U.S. city outside of New York or L.A., which one would you pick? I'd probably be between Boston or Denver. I think those are great cities. It's like you still have city, you still have a lot going on, but there also is an easy access where there's a lot of like suburbs right outside, more space. But really, they call it Menver. Apparently there's a higher male population in Denver. So from a dating lens, would it be easier? Maybe. I don't know. Look it up, yeah. Menver, they call it. Oh, so it's an equal ratio. Still the best.
That's still fun.
Still the best. Look at that. Oh, male to female, it's technically 101.7. So it slightly beats it. I'm like, should we look up if there is, what's the best?
It's available men. So population-wise, it's even, but available men, 19,000 more, they're saying in this study.
How about that? There are 19,000 more available men. So swipe for Denver. If anybody were doing anything. Oh, man. Would you move to another country for the one? That's tough. Country is hard because it's like, okay, really, how much am I going to be able to like see my own family and be near my own family? And then also career-wise, that's a gamble. It's like it'd have to be a specific country. London, I could do stand-up and be fine. If it's London, I'll make London work. Other than that, I mean, a country that doesn't English isn't their main language. I really don't understand how I would do what I would do.
What are you supposed to do?
Yeah. In terms of living in another country, I would love to live in another country, like for a few months and stuff like that of the year. I think that'd be wonderful. I would love that.
Yeah.
But like permanently residence-wise, that's very tough.
What about not even like another country, like just a random remote USA, like Middletown state? Like if you have to move to like Wisconsin.
Tough. Very tough. My career would have to be at a point that was very high, that I was traveling a lot. Then it makes sense. Then it's like I could be in Ohio, also central. I could fly everywhere. But that's also just tough. Like Wisconsin, I'd be like, do I know anyone? If you don't know anyone there, that's hard to move regardless of where it is. Even if it was a major city. Like if someone was to be like, Boston's hard. I have like a handful of college friends there. Seattle. Let's say Seattle. I don't have any family. I don't have any friends there. If you're like, let's move to Seattle, it's a great city. I'd be like, it's not that it's not a great city. Just what the fuck am I doing in Seattle? Is hard. That's hard. That's hard to cope with. That's very hard to cope with. Okay. This is a fun one. Any dates lately? I'm in a dry spell. Well, first of all, if you join the Patreon, you will know about this. So it's interesting, right? I started the show, Shooters Gotta Shoot. A big part of the premise was like, if I'm not initiating things, I don't get dates. I have way less dates. So I suddenly felt like I should be trying. And there's a combination of trying in that sense, where it's like, I don't believe anybody should be like chasing anybody, you know? But I'm obviously not anti shooting your shot, making a first move. As a woman, man, whoever you date, whatever you identify as, nothing wrong with that. However, there is something to this where it's like, yeah, I have not gone on a lot of dates in the past handful of months. And it's more like I've been playing things more where it's like I will show my interest. I will make a play to like try to get to a first date or something, dating app, opening the message, whatever the fuck it is. But like when things just aren't reciprocated, in the past I felt like I would be more like follow up, try again, like all these things. And I'm more in this space now that I'm like, if I look at all the people I end up actually dating, I didn't have to do that or continually do it, if that makes sense. So there's an art to it where it's like, put interest, put yourself out there. I'm still on dating apps, even though I'm very much over them at the moment. I'm still trying. I'm still messaging people, all this stuff. But like, you can only do so much with what is reciprocated. You know, like when you hit the point you feel like you're forcing to try to make dates happen is to me when dating gets exhausting. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, Fonzie?
Yeah, I'm following it, yeah.
Right? Or there's something to like, oh my God, some asshole, I don't know, submitted a question that was something along the lines of like, why are you hounding men? You should stop doing the podcast. I'm like, first of all, you don't listen to the pod, okay?
Right.
I'm not hounding anybody. I don't think I've ever hounded anyone. But it's more of like learn from the past, just being like, this person is not interested enough. Okay? People can be like very, very slightly interested. But the whole dynamic then is you making all the plays and you making every move and you initiating every date. And I'm overdoing that. I'm just overdoing it. Like, I'm like, no. Oh, I understand how that could sound like overdoing. No. I am over it is what I'm trying to say. I'm over that. I don't do that anymore. And what's hard is when you are in a dry spell that you're like, damn, I'm really not getting dates. You suddenly feel like you're doing something wrong. Like you are not trying enough and you should be trying more. And it's like you technically can, but I feel like the only way you can be trying more is with dating apps that can feel very, very frustrating. It can feel like also like a real blow to your self-esteem. There's so much hate right now on Hinge, on TikTok and everywhere I'm seeing, and I'm fucking loving it because I've been saying this about Hinge for a minute, okay? And a lot of dating apps are just trying to make money off of you. They truly are. They're trying to get you to pay so that you see better people, so you can use any filters, all this stuff. It's like their end goal is making money off of you, not you finding a person. Do I think that means you should never use them? No. But it's like we all need a balance with using them. Or, you know, some people can date like it's a job. I can't. I've learned that I can't. And when I do that, I get so exhausted so quickly because it's actually more frustrating being like, how come I'm not really clicking with anyone? How come I'm not getting second dates when I've gone on, let's say, 20 first dates in a month? Like, who's that? There's some girl, I forget the fucking name. She did like 28 dates in February. So she basically had a date a night as like a challenger thing to try. And even my co-host Allie from Finding Mr. Height, that's how she started her account, was like trying to go on, I think hers was 15 dates in January. So that's every other day when you do the math. That to me sounds so fucking draining that I don't see myself being a good time on the date either. So at that point, what are we doing? You know? The only time I've done multiple dates in a week, like 4 dates in a week, was when I was a hard rebound and trying to not think of somebody, where I was like, I can get dates. I could open this app. And it's like, we all could do that. You have to do what works for you in that department. It does not work for me. And I've been on a dry spell. The last person I was seeing was like, what, April? What is it now? October. That's a pretty long dry spell. But it's like, I don't worry so much about the dry spell, or the dry spell doesn't bother me as much as like the draining bothers me from dating sometimes. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of dating, I know I've talked about many things on this pod and many things you can try, many things I do think work. At the same time, I think there is a combination of luck happening. Because think of all the people you know in your life that are these amazing, incredible people that are so great to be around and wonderful. And you think to yourself, how come they haven't found someone? They're so great. Well, there's a weird combination of luck when it comes to this game. Weird combo of luck, unfortunately. And I'm one of those people, I'm like, I have yet to really experience that luck. It's yet to happen. And it can be very frustrating, which is the honest truth. Oh, this is very interesting. This came up in our last episode with Gordon a little bit. Different thing, though. It says, he's so rude with the guys, but so nice one-on-one. Thoughts? He's a rude person. He's a rude person. Like, I can't imagine someone that's rude consistently with one group of people. And then with me, I'm like, oh, but he's nice to me. Because my other question would be like, there might be something he wants from you he hasn't gotten yet. And I think this is most people. Most people are on their best behavior to get whatever thing that they want. And then once they get that thing that they want, now we see some true colors come out. But I cannot imagine seeing somebody be rude in general on a level. And then I'm like, oh, but they're nice to me. I'd be like, I'd just be so turned off by them being rude, period. Because then my first thought is like, so if I'm not around you, this is how you're going to be acting. And whoever you date is a representation of you. That's a representation of you. People know that's your man going around acting a certain way. But rude is crazy to me. What do you think, Fonzie? Rude. Imagine a girl did this.
Yeah, I think I misunderstood the context. Is this just like hanging out with his buddies, like type stuff, or like?
Yeah, with the guys.
Yeah, because I mean,
when he's with the boys, he's rude, obnoxious, all this stuff. Can you would you want to date a girl that you saw how she was with her friends and felt it was rude and obnoxious?
Yeah, no, I understand that but like the way I first thought of it when you said that was like sometimes me and my friends like get a little vulgar amongst each other. Because we've known each other so long, so where there's like a trust of that, we're like, just literally messing around in like the most explicit way.
But I think there's a difference between being like dumb and like letting off steam. Because also, is it privately?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, is she just sitting there with the guys and like during like, Sunday football, or like, are they like out and they're like talking shit to the waitress? You know what I mean?
I'm like rude publicly. I mean, rude in general.
Disgusting.
Rude is such a weird thing.
Right.
If they're being like a little gross, like or whatever, or group chat, like we said, anybody look through your group chat, there's gonna be stuff that makes you not look good, right? But there's a difference between a private group chat and how you act in the world.
In the world, definitely rudeness is a red flag. Yeah. Right.
So, yeah, that would be a very big turnoff for me personally. But hey. To each their own on that one. Okay. This is a very specific scenario here. Met on a dating app, talked for 3 months. One date, then didn't hear from him. Should I call him out? First of all, there are many more problems with this than the didn't hear from them again. Met on an app and talking for 3 months. Nobody should be doing. Ever, ever, ever. What the hell? 3 months?
Like talking through text before meeting?
Talking before meeting. Even distance. 3 months is crazy. 3 months, you go on one date, and then you're like, and then never heard from him again. Should I call him out? Call yourself out. Why are you entertaining this idea? Because at the end of the day, guess what? It's still 1 month. And this is the thing I've said 1,000 fucking times. Talking means nothing. You're texting a guy, you're talking to a guy, it means nothing. That is advice I've heard, and I agree with, and I say it to everybody else. Texting, talking means nothing. Nothing. 3 months, someone just will chat to you for 3 months. Chatting is the minimal piece of effort, and it means fucking nothing. You know what is more stock? Dates. You went on one date. You didn't hear from him again. He doesn't want another date. Should I call him out? Call him out on what? Why don't you want to date me? Wasting your time. You wasted your own time. This is the part I get annoyed with women in dating scenarios. I'm like, you wasted your own time. You made the decision to entertain this idea for 3 months with no results, with nothing happening. That's what you have to pay attention to. What is happening in front of me? If nothing's happening, that's what it means. Nothing. That's it. Okay. frustrating. All right. Okay. How to get over the fear of speaking up about what you want / it going badly. It's already going badly because you're not speaking up about what you want. So you're already not getting what you want. Do you want that to change? Yes? Then speak up. I hate this idea that you're like, and then what if it goes bad? It's already going bad. You're already not happy. If you want to get happier, something has to change. Not you just sitting there doing nothing. Speak up. It's already going bad. I don't see how you're going to turn this around. Here's a fun one that I'll throw partly to you, Fonzie, okay? Why do men initiate a kiss after a first date, get kissed, then never follow up? What is the point? I don't know. Has this ever happened to you?
No,
you have a kiss after a first date, you don't follow up.
I can understand, like, just going for a kiss just on, like, attempts for something more.
See, that was my first thought.
Yeah.
That was my first thought. Maybe he kissed you to be like, does she want to hook up, though? Because
right.
A bad date,
100%.
a man will still hook up with you. That is a sad truth, okay? They're on the date because they would hook up with you. Whether the date goes well or the date goes bad, a lot of men would still hook up with you. Or sometimes the kiss is a Hail Mary on their part where they go, I don't think she likes me. I don't think she likes me. Let me make a move and see if I was wrong. I've had that where I was like, often the man that makes the move to kiss me at the end of the date, I'm like, what date were you on? What date? Were we on the same date? I don't. But I feel like that guy actually feels like he has nothing to lose. He's like, I already think she's not interested. I already don't think I'll see her again. So if the kiss goes bad or it doesn't happen, whatever. I know. This, I'm like, he maybe wanted something more. Another, let's go benefit of the doubt here that he's a good guy and he wasn't just trying to, like, see if you'd wanted to hook up, okay? The no follow-up is something that whether you kissed him or not, we are never going to know. We are never going to know, okay? There could be a million reasons why there wasn't another date, all right? If you meet on a dating app, my theory mainly is, like, they're probably going on other dates and maybe there was someone they liked more. That sucks to hear. No one wants to hear that or think that. We're all the star of our own movie. But it's like whether it's another woman or whatever other reason, the end of the day, it means they didn't like you enough to want to go on another date. That's all it means, okay? Matchmaker Maria has a new thing right now. She's on like a soapbox about that I find very interesting. And it's about, I'm going to have her on the show very soon, by the way. But it's about if a man doesn't essentially ask you for a second date in like, God, what is it? I think she says 3 days. Like, men know the rules or whatever is what she says. Not even rules, but she's just like, they're not that interested. And you don't deserve to entertain some guy that's going to hit you up a week later and be like, oh, what do you have going on? As you're like an afterthought. What do you think about that, Fonzie? Male perspective.
That makes sense because, I mean, the ideal scenario you want if the guy's into you is a quick turnaround. He's thinking about you. He's excited to take you out again. If he doesn't do it within, 3 to 5 days or whatever it is, you're not the first thing on his mind.
Yes,
100%.
And there was some study or thing, and also all Maria's clients are men. She set up like, I think 1,000 men or something at this point. And she's like, and so she knows this from personal experience, but also I saw some study and it surveyed men, like, what's the reason you don't want to go on another date? Literally, it's like 3 reasons. 1, turns out they weren't that attracted to you. Or not, I don't know, so attracted to you, whatever it is. Something with attraction. That's like, well, top answer, okay? Second is, it was something like, there was like a coldness or something to you. Something about energy vibe, coldness, not very warm was like the one thing someone said. And the third thing was like, if they're rude to the server. If they're like openly rude or like sloppy drunk, like something along those lines. Something messy. But those are very like definitive things. And the attraction I think is confusing, right? Because we've said it on the show before, and I've said it a million times, like the man is attracted to you, that's why he's going on the date with you. Okay. Yes. But then we get in person, and maybe that attraction is different. We don't know, all right? Especially if it's an online thing. It doesn't mean they're not attracted to you at all. It's just like, that's literally the number one reason. So, like you said, Fonzie, it's like, if they had a nice time, and they're into you, you will hear from them. Men cannot play it cool. They don't really know how to play it cool. The ones that are trying to play it cool are in their head, asking me, texting me, being like, how I should wait a day to text her, right? And I'm like, no, you texting in 2 days versus 1 day makes no fucking difference to us, okay? Like, yeah, you want another date, that shows that you're interested, all right? Mm-hmm. But some dude, also, do you want a dude that's like in his head about like playing it cool? That's so fucking lame. Yeah. So, lame. Huh. All right. This is interesting. How long should you wait to date after your spouse dies? Okay. Obviously, I've never been married or had a spouse die or even a boyfriend die or anything along these lines. Or even had a pet die. Okay, I've never had a pet. So, here's what's interesting with this question. Patton Oswalt has a great special on Netflix that he talks about this in the very end of his special, that he lost his wife and he started dating somebody sooner than he expected to. I don't know the exact thing. I think it was maybe a year or all this stuff. And it was very interesting. I got to open for him one time, and someone came up to him after the show. They like waited outside in like a cold parking lot, hoping they would see us. And they came up to him and they just were like, "Hey, I just wanted to say thank you so much. I lost my spouse." And she said, "I got so much flack from people when I started dating my boyfriend." And she gestured. He was right there. She said that apparently it wasn't like enough time. I think this is one of those things that like, fuck everybody else's opinion, okay? Because this woman was so like touched by this guy's special, being like, you talking about dating after losing someone and how that like really turned his life around in a way that he was in like this very, very deep depression and was trying to get out of it and all this stuff. She was like, that helped me feel so much better about my scenario, because she was getting so much hate from people that, first of all, never lost anybody. Okay. Like I said, I've never lost anybody. So who the fuck am I to judge? Like, oh my God, it's only been this amount of time since your wife or spouse, whoever passed, and you're dating another person. Like, there's no timeline on grief for people. And you also can still be grieving and miss that person, yet also find somebody else that's great. And you think, oh man, this person's so wonderful, and I just enjoy my time with them and I want to see where it goes. So I don't think there's a rhyme or reason to this. It's like, will people judge you? There's going to be some people that judge you. But what have we learned in life? Fuck people's judgments. Fuck them. Okay? They have no idea what it's like to lose a spouse. And even if they do, and then they say to you like, well, I mean, I made sure I waited a whole year. Okay, well, good for you. Fuck off. Like, I would be so mad where it's like, I'd be like, oh, well, I guess you handle loneliness better than me. What is this competition that we're in? It's truly. But like, and because another thing too about this, obviously there's different levels of like sickness with spouses. So like, are anybody getting that information either? Like, let's say your person was sick. You were their caretaker for years. They pass away. Someone's going to give you shit for like going on a date in a month. I wouldn't. I'd be like, you put your life on hold for this person for a very long time. They were leaving. It was a slow leaving. You clearly were grieving it during that time. There's no right or wrong. I think with anything, it's like, all right, go on some dates and you're maybe going to find out, hey, it turns out I'm not ready, or I can't bring enough to this relationship, or wow, I'm grieving too much. But how are you going to know until you go on a date? I know it's different than any breakup, but I kind of see it as any breakup. Some people break up, they date immediately. Some people break up, they need some time. Whatever works for you. Fuck anybody that would judge that. My God. I can't imagine that. Also from like, I guess a child's perspective, right? When I lost one of my parents, I'd be very worried about my other parent being lonely and being by themselves. So I would like to think I would be very happy whenever they decided to date again and find someone else just for a company purpose. Because suddenly when they lose their main person of company, and I watched my mom and her sister go through this with my grandpa, there's this extra pressure like to be around and invite them to things and have them be a part of your life. And it's like, at the end of the day, everybody needs their own life, and you can't depend on somebody to like come in and like also like lean on your children in that way either, which I see happen to a lot of people. And then the children are reinforcing it, almost being like, you can't date again now. And it's like, we all need to be adults. Okay. We all need to be adults. Everybody needs their own life. And some people are lonely. Okay. Who wants to be lonely? I don't want anybody to be lonely. So date whenever you want to date. I did that one. Fiance stripper. Where are these? Here's an interesting one. We'll do this to wrap up. How to engage with someone who I feel is slow fading me. 5 great dates. Used to talk / text every day now. Now I only get 1 text a day. Okay. I mean, there's different ways to approach this. Maybe depends on your personality. First of all, you are correct. Something has changed. They are fading. The communication pattern has changed. So something has changed. This person is probably waiting for you to call it or Just slow fade where they eventually stop responding to you. This is going to depend on personality. Do you want to call them out? Are you going to feel better calling them out? Or are you just going to mirror their behavior? I don't know what I would do in this scenario. It would honestly depend on how much I was into this person. I would probably, after 5 dates, lean towards calling it out. I would probably like get them on the phone and I'd just be like, hey, yeah, so there's definitely been a communication pattern change. I feel like you're not into this anymore and you don't want to like continue seeing me. And then I would be quiet. That is the biggest thing I've learned is make shit short, make it simple, make it to the point, be quiet and let the other person reveal their thing. That's all I would say. I wouldn't even see it as like a calling them out. I'd just be like, hey, this has changed. What's going on? And if you get some vague bullshit answer, I'd just make it a yes or no question. I'd be like, do you want to continue seeing me or do you want to see other people? That's very simple, right? What do you think, Fonzie?
Yeah, I think you owe it. Like, if I was in a position like that 5 dates in and didn't want to, like, you owe someone that closure. Like, that's insane to just...
You do. The move is insane by the man.
Totally.
I'm not condemning the move, but, like, I don't know. I feel like I've just gone through it enough that I feel like I would just stop reaching out.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, there's my answer. But it's almost this thing that we feel like, almost like to punish them or almost like they owe us this. And they like, and it's like the person already isn't giving it to you.
Yeah, it's like you should kind of already know.
They should have somewhat of a breakup conversation with you, but you're already not getting it. And it's like, do you really need that conversation? Is it really going to make you feel better? Then sure, do it. I don't feel like it makes me feel better when those scenarios happen. You know? Yeah. Like you're basically just being like, you're being a coward without saying that.
Yeah, so that should already be your answer. That like you already know. You already know in your heart it's over if they're doing the slow fade.
So I'm like, does it matter if you do one route or the other? Either stop talking to them and see if they ever ask you out again, or go, hey, I think you're not into this anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that's what doesn't matter to you. I know I'm pretty definitive with advice, being like, this is what you should do and blah blah. But I'm like, that's when I'm like, that's...
Yeah, unless you want to like, you know, go nuclear and have some fun. That's always a good time.
Is it? That's what a lot of women do.
Like that stuff.
They're like, I'm gonna send him this paragraph and like I'm gonna call his ass out, and I'm always like, did that really make you feel any better?
It just reinforces his.
It doesn't make me feel better. Because also I'm like, the minute five dates, and I feel like I have to convince you to keep dating me and be interested in me is so embarrassing. That's more what I look at stuff now in my later years of dating and all the things I've learned. It's just like, God, that is fucking embarrassing. I can't imagine being like, telling that story and just my friends, I feel like, would look at me and be like, why are you trying to get this man to like you? You're real friends anyway. You're real friends. Your other friends would be like, oh yeah, call his ass out. And I'm like, no. Just, this guy, he was being consistent. He stopped being consistent. That is like the number one thing. We went on 5 dates. You stopped talking to me? Literally talking to you. He would talk to you all the time? No. You're reading it correctly. This is another thing. It's like almost doubting your instincts. It's like, I think the answer is going to be the same. Nothing's going to change. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have your answer.
You have your answer.
Yeah.
Because even if, like, let's say you're slammed at work, you're slammed at something, and there's people reasonably go, yeah, I just can't, like, text as much anymore. But he would still be taking you on dates when he could. Right? Something.
Yeah, anything. Even like, oh, hey, sorry, I've been busy all day.
Yeah. It sucks. That really sucks to be in. How often do you get to 5 dates with somebody? Not that often, right? Most of us, not that often. So that really sucks. But there's so many questions I get that are almost like, I should call this out. And I'm like, who's that for? Who's it for? If it's for you, I guess do it. But like, for me, I'm over it. I'm like, nothing's going to happen. I almost feel like it's a more blow to their ego, personally, to just never talk to them again. Because they'll partly wonder, like, oh, she didn't at all, like, try to get me. Like, wow, she just so easily let me go. I think that's more impressionable.
That's how you get them to answer back.
That literally, you just disappear. Reverse They're kind of like, hey, I know I didn't want you, but why don't you want me anymore? Suddenly it's like, wait a minute. I thought I was the one ending it. Now I feel like she ended it. I feel like that's the only time that gets men to really think about what the fuck happened. True. You know? But that's something that he's probably like, she's so into me, man. She's so into me. And then the minute you're just gone, you just go, oh, okay. That's the most telling sign, right? Imagine you break up with a girl, you just genuinely never hear from her again. You go, I don't want to date her anymore, and she just goes, oh, okay. Well, best of luck
for the rest of your life.
Gee, it's gonna haunt you
forever.
Haunt you.
Forever.
Haunt you. Such a blow to the ego. I would feel a blow to my ego. Like, whoa! You're not even gonna try a little bit to, you You let me go that easily? Who do you have lined up? Who's lined up now? You know what I mean? Like, but that is how we should all move. We all have options. Don't act like you don't have options, you know? It sucks, but like, nah. I'll let them think. I'm like, oh yeah. Wait a minute. I'm done. I could be crying about it for days, but no. Oh, you don't want to date me anymore? Oh, okay. Well, this was fun. Best of luck. Deuces. I'm not going to hash this out.
I'll meet someone else.
Because the truth is, once people like don't have feelings for you anymore, they are not going to work on the relationship whatsoever. And they are especially not going to change. You only do that when you like someone. Mm-hmm. You don't like me anymore. You don't want to see me anymore. The effort's gone. The effort is fully gone. And fuck that. Fuck that is what I say. Anyway, thank you all for submitting your questions. I do it every Sunday on my Instagram. And then I answer some of them on the spot that I feel like are some highlights. So thank you all for listening. We will be back in 2 weeks. We're every other week now. And thank you. And subscribe, do all that stuff. And talk to you later. Bye.